Hello, everyone. This is Coach Jay of Ellison Consulting, and I have one of my amazing clients here with me on video. And we're just going to talk about her journey, Miss Jena Melberg.
Hello.
Everyone. It is such a privilege to be here. So honored to have her in my container, the Matriarch CEO Coaching Program, which is our signature program, transformation 100% for women who desire to build businesses that support their womanhood. And so, but Jena, I am going to kind of step back because I do want you to talk about, your journey through coaching and why you decided to start here, start again with us back in October, what was it, 2023?
Oh,
That's
yes.
crazy.
I can't believe it's been like almost a year. I mean, I can, but I'm also like, I kind of can't. Yeah.
Right, right. So tell us all about your business, where you started and what led you to coaching.
Oh, okay. So I own a salon. Well, I own Catalyst Beauty Group. So I own a salon. It's called Catalyst Salon. And then recently I launched a CRM system for salons, and it's called Beyond the Salon.
Mhm.
And when I talk about getting into coaching, I feel like it's one of those things that I didn't get into it. I just didn't really have a choice. Like my mom, she was a massage therapist. She had that business my whole entire life. It's how I grew up. Like I literally grew up in the beauty industry, and she was older. So she didn't understand like technology, social media, computers, the internet, but she had a business, right? So getting older, I was able to see like, hey, you should have like a client form where you can get their information. Or like I built her website for her. I started, it's kind of funny because I guess that would be like when I started understanding CRMs, like, hey, if you had their information and you could communicate with them, you wouldn't just be waiting for the phone to ring to like go make money, you know? So I feel like I was her first coach. Like that was my first
Hmm.
my mom. And I really realized that around like 16, like building the websites, making her forms, like helping her with her business cards, like, and then I went and got a business degree because I realized she was so smart. She was so smart.
Hmm.
She did massage my whole life. She passed away in 2021. She did massage therapy till she passed away. And she tried to start a tent company. She tried to start a catering company. She tried to start a pet sitting company, but nothing ever worked. And I think maybe like that's the point of a coach, right? Like you're on the outside looking in. So on the outside
Hmm.
looking in, I was able to see like those business failures, they didn't have anything to do with her. It wasn't like she wasn't smart. It wasn't like she wasn't capable. She just genuinely didn't know how to run a business. She just had a skill of massage therapy. And especially if you're a single mom, you can't just stop doing what provides money for you and your child to go, try this thing out. So it's really hard. And I'm dealing with that now. Like I did deal with that in your program. It's like, I have this thing that sustains me, but I know
Hmm.
I need something else. And that jump is whew. And she never made it. Most people don't. And I saw
Right.
that and I saw that that's not what I wanted for me.
I love that. I love that. And we're going to talk about that motherhood balancing or imbalance in so many ways for some of us.
Yeah.
But I love that you got your work ethic and because we don't see a lot of that in our, with women in business. We don't see a lot of times our mothers being kind of our big support systems and teaching us. But one of the things I love that you said was like, I have a skill set, like I know how to do the salon, but I also have this tech company that I want to start. But then I also have another skill called coaching. And but I know that I can pick up anywhere I want to in those three major core areas and run with it. So, and I think that's one of the things about skill mastery. Tell me about how you were able to decide, like what made you go into the tech side even more? Like what made you lean in? Because I know we had not several, we had just a couple of pivots, But tell me, what made you like really go in on the tech?
So I say that it's like a blessing and a curse, but I've always known, like as long as I can remember, I've always seen my life. Like I know what it looks like. I can experience it. I can write it for you. I know, like I just know it, right? To me, that's like it's a God thing. So what I do know is that life can't exist while I'm trading my time for money. It doesn't exist in that reality, that life I want to live. And the skill that I've mastered of like doing spray tanning, doing waxing, being a salon owner, I can't that that can't exist in like my future, right? And then even like I even talk to my clients about owning a salon. Like if you want to own a salon, right? Let's do some math.
Mm-hmm.
Own a salon, you have to own a 7-figure salon without being in the chair to bring home 6 figures. And that's on a good day. And that is,
Mm.
I don't really want to do that. So I knew like the path of salon ownership wasn't going to get me there.
Ooh.
When I got into coaching, I was like, okay, we've checked the box of like, can I do this from anywhere? Yes, I can. Like, do I have more freedom? Yes. But like how often do I want to be coaching while I'm like traveling the world and like I don't want to be like, oh no, guys, I can't go snorkeling because I have a coaching call. Like I want to be like, I'm out of here. Like, you know, so getting into the tech and really just grabbing hold of this like passive income and just selling this system that I don't really have to be as hands-on with. I was like, okay, that's it. Like that's what's gonna get me.
Ooh. And I
Mhm.
love how you talked about like, I want to be on vacation and not having to worry about, taking coaching calls while I'm trying to snorkel. And this is kind of where the rubber meets the road with businesses that support our womanhood, which is, creative and traveling and experiences. So, with the tech company, tell people exactly what you're doing with that, because I know some salon owners out there. If you need somebody to put your stuff together, go ahead, Jenna. Talk.
It's just like this beautiful path that I've gone down, which obviously I have you to credit for. But I got into coaching. I started working with salon owners. I started working with salon owners that were way more successful than me, which that was an interesting thing to like get over. Like, can I help this person that's making 7 figures? Like, can I help this person that's more successful than me? We definitely talked about that when we were on our calls. But like seeing what was missing from my coaching clients' businesses, I was able, and then really like, I'm really into the life cycle of a client. Like, how are they finding you? What happens when they find you? How are you getting them into your business? What happens after they come see you? And I was able to realize that our like booking and scheduling systems, they cover like 3 touch points. They're like, okay, you made an appointment, you came to do the appointment, you checked out, that's about it. And if you really think of a client journey, there's at least 20 or more touch points, and the booking system's like, hey, we have 3. Like, good luck.
Mm.
So I was able to see like, how are you capturing leads that aren't actual clients? Like, let's close the gap between how many clients information you have versus how many people you've seen. Because if you can market to 5,000 people, that's going to be a lot better than the 2,000 people that you've seen.
Absolutely.
So I started building funnels. I started building lead magnets. I built a check-in system. So when clients come into your salon, it automatically like starts asking them for reviews. It starts asking them for referrals. It starts, nurturing campaigns. Like every holiday, they get a message from you. Like they get like monthly emails from you. So it's just, I'm like, I feel like this could be our whole call.
This
But
is
it's
so good. This is so good. But yeah, I want you to finish your because I know you had something else that you wanted to add to that.
No, I mean, it's just everything, the way I've been talking about it, I'm like, it's just everything that the booking systems don't have. Even being able to communicate with clients, there's a communication section and Facebook,
Mm.
Instagram DMs, emails, texts, and phone calls are all in one thread with the client. It's just, yeah.
Automations.
Automation.
Automation Sundays. Yes.
Love automations.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. So now let's talk about the journey from a coaching perspective. Like, for example, I know that most of us, when we get into coaching programs, we've been coached before. So tell me about your journey. Like, even if it's I'm invested in coaches and this is what's happened, tell me about that and why you decided to enroll.
Like, how much time do we have? I have invested over 6 figures on my education. Yeah. Between my business degree, mentorships, coaching, just so much money, so much money, so much money. And I've had like branding coaches, salon coaches, I've had like digital products coaches. I had so many coaches, but what really attracted me to you was you're the first coach that I felt like I had the most alignment with because I knew so I know that one of your plans is like traveling, having more freedom, potentially living in another country. And so this is how my brain works, right? I'm like, okay, and we have children that are the same age. So I have Hayden
Yes.
he's a junior and you're mad. So the way that I figured it was like me and her are in similar experiences of being a single mom with like this age child and doing coaching. So we have that. But then me and her want to go to the same place. I follow what you're doing because I know you're like I know you're gonna get there more than I can even know that I'm gonna get there, if that makes sense. So I'm like, follow her because I know she's going. So I just follow her and we're on the same time frame. Like we want the same thing in the same time frame. So I was like, okay, that to me, that was one of the biggest things. And then also like I wrote down, you had posted, I think you posted this after I had already joined your program, but it really like stuck with me because I didn't hire you for a while. Like we had a call in May and I started working with you in October. You said something like, it's not that I don't trust the coach. I didn't trust myself to invest any more money because I felt like I would invest all this money and they would tell me to do these things and I wouldn't do them. And then I felt wasting money. But I also felt like sometimes the things they were telling me didn't relate to what I wanted. Like I've had coaching by men and they're very like masculine energy, like, posting 5 day and lifestyle marketing and like on calls 24/7 because they're dads and they like take care of their kids. And that it didn't correlate to me because I'm like, I don't want that life. So I couldn't really follow them as much as I wanted to because I didn't want, but you don't realize that until you're in the program, obviously. But working with you is like, okay, I know I trust her. So what is the problem? And I was able to see like the problem is myself. I don't trust myself to go do this work. So that was a really big thing for me.
Ooh. I love it. I love it. So what in like the matriarch? So you've been with me for almost a year. Tell me what is like the top, like maybe 1 to 2 things that you've learned for yourself as a business owner that just really hit home for you. If you hear Yonsei in the background, I'm sorry.
Oh, this is a good one. So when I brought my numbers because I like my numbers. So I have been coaching before I had started coaching maybe like 2022, like just
Okay.
right. So in 2023, from January to October, I made $9,500 coaching. From October to December, I made 14,000.
14,000 of this year?
In 2023.
2023. Okay.
So I made more money in 3 months than I had made the whole year.
Oh, I'm acting slow. What?
Yes. Yes. Yes, I know. So January to October, 9,500, or sorry, January to September, sorry, 95. October to November, 14. Wow. Yes. And the reason for that is because I have this I had this like little bit of issue. I never told you this, but when I first started working with the matriarchs and being in the program, I was like, a lot of people in the program, they had jobs and they were in corporate. And I felt like your transformation was more like assisting, like allowing them the safety to know, like, you don't need to be in corporate. You can leave corporate, like you can depend on yourself. You can have a business. And part of me was like, but I don't have that problem. Like I already
Mm-hmm.
am where you're trying to get them to go. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was able to just get over that and listen to you because I was in the program to listen to you, right? I was able to see like, but my salon is my corporate America. Like my skill set is my corporate America.
Oof.
Mhm. And I had never, as much as I was like in 2 years and 2.5 years, I'm gonna retire from the salon and I'm gonna do coaching and I'm gonna travel. To look back, honestly, I don't think that would have happened because I think when I got to that point, I would have been doing the work that I've been doing since October.
Mm.
Because before October, this it was just something that I had like 2.5 years to finish, right? Like as long as it was kind of going by then, I was okay and I could do what I wanted. But when we had
Mm-hmm.
to do every week and be like, how much money did you make this week? Like how many clients did you sell? Like how many leads did you get? Every week, I was like, I'm not coming to that call and giving her 0. There were so many zeros before that. Like I would go months without making any type of sale before that. So that was huge. That was really big.
Wow. What did you feel emotionally? Because I know as women, we go through a lot, ups and downs in our businesses. And I know for me, when I went through coaching for myself the first time around during COVID, um, emotionally, I went through going through my upper limit.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so I would reach peaks, but when it was time for me to go past that, I would say, "Oh, I'm burnt out. Oh, I'm burnt out." But it would be like, "No, Jay, you need to be coached through this upper limit so that you can get to the next level in your business instead of coming back down." So that's for me emotionally. So is there something that came up for you during this time that helped?
I'm like, how many times did it come up? Oh, that helped me? Okay. I'm like, oh, that came up like all the time. Okay. I'm
I
like,
love it.
I don't know. Something like
Ooh, how many days we cried this week? Maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay,
Oh,
sorry, you can finish because I was like somewhere else.
no. This is good. Like just something that you've wrestled with for a long time, and in the matriarch, you were like, okay, it's time for me to sit the little girl down, and the grown woman, the great mother within me rises up.
Hmm. I think probably one of the most like defining moments for me. And this, I think, I do believe this is a benefit of group coaching because you weren't coaching me. You weren't even teaching. You were helping someone else with what they were going through. And, I was just on the call and you just told them, like, you're the safety. And I've never lived, so I've never lived on my own before, ever. I lived with my mom on and off till I was like till she passed away, essentially. Like I would leave, I would go live with a man who would like pay the bills, and I would just be like,
Mm-hmm. Soft life. Mm-hmm.
and then when that didn't work out, I would go back to my mom's house and be taken care of there, and everything was fine. And then it wasn't fine because then I didn't have my mom anymore. And then I didn't have a boyfriend, and I really didn't want another one because I was like, well, this isn't really working for me, you know? So just the idea of like, I'm the safety, like
Mm.
I can take care of myself. Me and my son will be okay. We will be taking care of the safety is not the salon. It's not the skill that I have. Like whatever. I'm the safety. I create it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ooh,
you weren't even coaching me. You were coaching somebody else. But I really got that.
I love that.
Yeah, that was really
You
good.
you are the safety, and we have to be our own safe spaces.
Mhm.
And for like in a capitalistic society, I talk about that a lot, and how women, we weren't given the blueprint on how to be successful in a man's world. Like it's still very much so male centric, but women are, and I think this is kind of where the shift happens, is that you have a lot of women who are very feminine and we're very creative. Like we can do Canva all day. We can do flyers and what you say?
Crafts. You're
Arts and crafts.
like, you came for me. Okay. We're not gonna sugarcoat this. Like, I need you to keep that energy because you hurt my feelings.
I am tough. I am a tough coach. I will say things like, okay, you can't do arts and crafts for too long. Like you got to get out of it.
I felt some stuff.
Go sell. Because we get off, like we get distracted very easily because it's to avoid the pain of rejection and money and outcomes and stuff like that. But one of the things I always say in the matriarch is, you got to learn how to be here. If you're going to be here, you got to learn how to be here. And that's very important when you're talking about societal changes and economic downturns, and entrepreneurs do well. So I would say, what has been your biggest, like, I guess you could say your biggest aha moment for you? And what are some things that you love about the matriarch?
Oh, there's so many things. So I shared this a couple weeks ago. I was like, this is the first time in my entire life where, like, I could always see the reality, like I could always see what I wanted, and I knew I'd figure it out eventually. I'm like, I know I'm gonna get there eventually. But I said on one of the calls, I was like, this is the first time that if I didn't have the salon tomorrow, I could still make money. Like I've learned the skill of coaching. I've built the CRM. Like I could just, I'm fully capable of, like, I have all the steps now to go to that life. Before it was like, I know I'm going to get there, but is this going to, I started a trucking company. Like, what else did I do? I started a trucking company. I had like credit repair. I was like helping boyfriends with their companies, like I've always just been like, what's going to get me there? What's going to get me there? What's going to get me there? And now I'm like, okay, I got it. Like I can go now.
Oof. Self-sufficiency. I love it. I love
Well, that was a
women.
long time.
We have to learn how to take care of ourselves.
Yeah. Mm.
So what's next on the Jena's life list?
Oh, well, launch the CRM. Well, build the CRM. You gave me this idea as well. I do like coaching. I do. So I would like to build the CRM, but then also incorporate an agency aspect so that I can get corporate contracts. Because the way that I'm selling the CRM is like, if you're an individual, if you're a salon owner, or you have a salon suite, like you're just like a smaller team, you can just buy it, you can set it up. But if I want to go after franchises that are like nationwide or like, regional wide, I would have people under me to set up their accounts.
Yes.
That's the big money. And we like the big money.
We like big checks.
We like big checks. Yeah. And you helped me with that too. Cause again, like knowing I want to get into corporate, I know that's where really big payoffs are, but I just don't really know how to get there. I just learned so much. And watching other people's transformations and their pivots, I feel like when you see that in depth on a weekly basis, that just does something to you.
Everybody, like not everybody, but it's been several pivots this year. I think people are like, okay, this is not shaking. And I love, like, people think that when they pivot, they feel like embarrassed. Like, what are people going to say? But obviously, I don't care. I know you don't care because it's like, child, we've been being business owners since whenever. But some people still have that perfectionist imposter syndrome. I'm fearful of what people pleasing a little bit too. So, with that being said, there is nothing wrong with pivoting. And I love that you brought up corporate contracts because that is a part of it, what should be a part of everybody's business model at this point. Like there should be a corporate contract leg in your business, especially if you're an online business owner, even if it's to put franchises or some type of business on retainer. And so, just like you said, you have all these beauty franchises, all of these cosmetics and hair companies that need, and even hair and beauty supply stores and all these other, there's so much opportunity, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. That's so good.
So good. There's so many opportunities. And I just know, like, once you get everything, and I know everything is still coming together. And this is one of the reasons why I want to do a video with you, is because I wanted to show people the process. The results, yes, is very important, but it's also the process of coaching and becoming who you want to be and learn who you are becoming. So you already know what you're doing. It's just that when you get there, it won't be a surprise because you've already trained for that level.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to real quick to switch over to motherhood. And for women out there, that's, I got children or I got teenagers, and I'm a single mom or I'm a wife or whatever. And just from the aspect of motherhood, obviously, that being a single mother is already enough in itself. But how have you been able to manage being a mom, being a mom, wanting more for your baby, but also trying to build this business? How has that been for you? What have you learned through this process?
I will say when he was younger, it was harder. Like I have coaching clients, I'm on a call with them and their 3-year-old is on their head. And they're like, how do you have time? And I'm like, I have a 16-year-old with a car. There's definitely different levels to this. Like when he was young, I would work in the salon. I would come home, be a mom for however long that took. And then when he would go to bed, I would do all my computer work. So that was my back then. I think it's why I work so well at night, because that's just kind of how like I had to train myself. And then now, he doesn't need me as much because he's 16, he has a car, but I'm still very flexible, like, going to doctors, like I'm at every football game. I did have to teach him some self-sufficiency as well. I'm like, I have to go. I'm here, I'm at the salon, I'm doing videos. He's at home making himself dinner because he's capable of making dinner. You know what I mean? Like there are definitely some boundaries there. Like you can clean, you can do the dishes, like you can do your laundry. And I think maybe people think it's a bad thing that you can't just like fully cater to your kids, but I actually think this is a amazing thing for him to be like that. And then actually this actually happened today. So what a perfect timing, what perfect timing for this call. So he's, we're having talks about like college and his future and stuff. And he's like, but like, do I have to go to college? Can't I just work with you? Like, can't we just work together? And I said, Hayden, that's why I'm literally building a software company so that we can run it together and we can travel together and you can have a job and I can give it to you. And that is part of being a matriarch. Like, that's part of it. I'm building this entire company that I can leave to him. He can run it with me. He doesn't have to get a job. If he wants to go to college, great. If not, whatever. He can have passions because he won't have to work 7. So I think also with that, there's a little bit more grace with our relationship because he knows like, hey, I'm building something for us. And it's it takes some time. But I am there when it's important, obviously. Like I'll cancel. I'm like, I gotta go to the doctor. And I work with moms. So I think that's what like, I think if you're in corporate America, they're like, men and male driven, lots of masculine energy. It's like, what wasn't your kid sick last week? Or like, why do you have to do that? I work with moms. They're like, yeah, sure. I can do tomorrow. Like, not a big deal. I built that for myself. So I love that.
I love it too. I love it too. And you're absolutely right. I love that y'all having these conversations because, a lot of moms, oh, I want my baby to go to college. And it's like, college may not even be as relevant. We don't even know. But it's so and I've kind of joked about this, but what's for real at the same time is that when you're building a business and the whole intention is to build wealth. And
Mhm.
I don't know where we got this little, I'm building a business because I just want to make extra income. That doesn't make any sense. Like you're going to be hustling to the day you die. So
Mhm.
why not build an empire or build your version of an empire? And then if you have children, you're giving them the skills in order for them to take care of themselves. And it was almost like, well, what is his name? Dame Dash, when he
Mhm.
said, can your children borrow from your business like a bank? And I was
Mhm.
like,
That's a good one.
build your business like it's a bank. Like, can your children get a job at your business? If they can't, then you're not going hard enough. You're not. And I was like, oh, that hit me. Because if you're gonna build it and you have children, oh, I need money for this, or I need to borrow against the business,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you gotta build it up to create that. So, Jenna, oh my gosh, this is so good. This is so good. My last question for you is what would you say to someone who is kind of in the middle? They're, like, I just don't know, or, I really like Jay. I love her lives, but I don't know about her coaching. Like, what would you say to someone like that that's going through with decisions?
Oh, like you're wasting time. You're wasting time. You're wasting time. we we don't have time for this. It's like how long do you want to delay the results? Because like I said, I was doing the things. I was coaching. I had my coaching business. I was making my posts. I had websites. I had funnels. Like I had done all the arts and crafts, like I had worked with coaches before, but to have made more money in 3 months than the whole year. And this year I'm up 200% from last year because I had that number
I
too.
saw that. I saw that.
And I'm like, yeah, like what are you doing? And it really, it's just such a beautiful like combination because it's you, it's the community. I feel like the community has given me just as much as working with you, to be honest. Like just watching them and seeing and hearing them cry and being like, I wanted to quit and I wanted to deactivate my Facebook and I'm tired. And I'm like, I'm tired too. And then you see them post 6 times the next day and you say, well, let me start posting. Like I feel like we just all like you genuinely built such a beautiful community. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. You've done a very good job. Done a very good
Okay,
job.
I was about to, I heard a tear coming. I heard it coming. But Jenna, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for trusting me as your coach, trusting yourself as a business owner. And it is about our babies. It is about our freedom. Is there anything that you need to say? Where can people find you? Website, Instagram, all that stuff?
Well, it's my name. I made it pretty simple. So like it's Jena Melberg is my Instagram. Jena Melberg is my Facebook. And then Beyond the Salon CRM is where you can find more information about the CRM. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Jenna. And you guys join the Matriarch. Thank you.